Godzilla The Series toys all the way from 1998 in 2025? What's going on, YouTube? Green with you here, and today, welcome back to another edition of Godzilla Vision. We are taking a look today at, I know it's very controversial, Godzilla 1998. Everybody has opinions on it. I want your opinions in the comments, but we're going to talk about a very special limited figure that Y-MSF has made, as you see in front of us here. From Godzilla The Series, the cartoon show that took place after the Godzilla 1998 movie. There was supposed to be a Trendmasters line that came out with these toys. I'll put a picture up over here. You'll see Randy and Nick Totopoulos, Nigel, some monsters, and you're also going to see the Godzilla that was supposed to be in that set.
Who will rule? Only you can decide. Godzilla, Cyber Godzilla, and human action figures, each sold separately.
And this is what Y-MSF came up with as a limited figure for this year in 2025. There's a couple other different versions. I'll put them up here picture-wise that I found on eBay. But I've just stumbled upon this. I've always wanted an animated Godzilla Junior figure from the series. If you guys haven't watched that series, by the way, real quick before we get into this, watch that series. It's all on YouTube. I'll put the playlist in the description below. All 40 episodes. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Trust me. This Godzilla Junior is much more like Godzilla. If you guys don't know, definitely peep the animated series. So let's talk about this figure here. Trendmasters, as you know, we had a Godzilla line in the early 1990s and mid-1990s. I would say early to mid-1990s.
Godzilla versus his enemies of destruction, the king of all monsters, against the baddest beasts of all time.
They had the rights to make the Godzilla The Series toys, and there were commercials made, and there were promotional images and advertisements in newspapers and, well, not newspapers. Speaking of newspapers, you see behind me, right over here, the Godzilla 1998 poster from the newspaper, still on my wall all these years later. I have it there. I've always kept it. That's from the actual, actual advertisement in the newspaper back in '98. So yeah, I love this. I love that movie. But they had the rights, Trendmasters, to make the toys, and they advertised with a couple of, I guess, commercials, maybe one commercial, and in comic books and little ads and advertisements for the toys themselves. There's supposed to be, I think, 2 lines with Cyber Godzilla and this Godzilla. But you'll see the comparison on the image here that I have up, and you're going to see this figure from Y-MSF that we got this year. Take a look at that figure in comparison to the original idea that they were going to have that ended up getting scrapped. If you guys want to see all those figures, Monster Island Buddies did a whole... I don't know how he got them, but he got prototypes. So take a look at those prototypes on his channel, Monster Island Buddies. He did a video review of all those toys. He got the prototypes, and I guess someone painted them. Very, very crazy and awesome. But we're taking a look today, like I said, at the Y-MSF Godzilla 1998 from the series, which looks very, very similar to the figure. They kept the color scheme deliberately to match the old toy line that they were going to make, but then they kind of made him a lot more photorealistic to the animated series itself. Almost a one-for-one shot, except for obviously some of the colors are off, but that was because they wanted to match the toy. So we have his dorsal fins. He is a vinyl. So what happened was, when he was delivered, his feet were all kind of pushed together, unfortunately.
My leg! My leg! My leg! My leg! My leg!
But, and I was afraid to use the hair drying method. If you guys don't know what that is, you take a hair dryer and heat up the legs or heat up the arms. A lot of times to help pop in legs and arms and tails for these type of vinyl figures. He felt like, I can't explain this. He felt like, he feels very glossy. And I was worried if I used the hair dryer that would be a problem. But I contacted the seller, Rip City Kaiju, and he was awesome. He has other ones of these on sale there too. And he was like, no, you can use the blow dryer and reshape his feet. And it did. He reshaped it. Look at that. I'm able to stand him now because his feet were actually crossed like this, but like all the way down here. amazing how that the hairdryer method works. But we get a good look at the animated series. He has the slouch that the animated series figure has. He doesn't have, I guess, the open mouth that the toy was gonna have in 1998 to shoot his atomic ray. Because yes, this Godzilla Junior has an atomic ray. If you just watch the series, it's very good. I'll say arguably the best animated series we've ever gotten from Godzilla. Singular Point was too scientific and crazy. But I just think that this was the better. And Hanna-Barbera was Hanna-Barbera. It was kind of goofy with. If you don't believe me, here's a clip. But it's a very good figure. I got him for $150. It's a limited figure. I don't know how many they made. Y-MSF makes a lot of limited run kaiju figures of characters you don't normally see, or special versions of kaiju, and that's where we got this one from. It's an awesome piece. If you guys like the 98 Godzilla design, which I do love the design. It's awesome. This is a must figure. It's so freaking cool. It is so awesome. They got so much of the detail right on the figure, and like I said, the color scheme is like the toy that was supposed to come out. There's a couple other, someone did a custom paint job on eBay. If it's still up, I'll show you a picture of it. It was wild. They painted it just like this one from the actual cartoon series. But I have some comparisons here to take a look at with our Godzilla Junior here. So let's take a look at some comparisons that we have. And what better comparison to start with, right, than Pops. We have Pops. We have a Godzilla 1998, the Atomic Blast figure here, from the 1998 movie, from Trendmasters. Yes, this is from when I was a kid, and I got this. I can't find the atomic ray, but you can kind of get the gist of what that other figure was going to be. It was going to kind of be the same kind of stance. I'll put a picture up here again of the Godzilla Junior animated figure that never came out, and kind of had the same kind of idea where you can fire the atomic ray from his mouth. But here's Pops. Here's the color scheme for the movie, and then we have Junior here. So there are our comparisons with father and son chilling. So that's pretty cool. We were gonna get. I want to get a Cyber Godzilla. I'm gonna put a picture of Cyber Godzilla up. I don't want to. I'm not gonna spoil anything, because if you want to watch the animated series, definitely watch it. Not gonna spoil, but definitely watch it. And I want them to make a hopefully Y-MSF makes a Cyber Godzilla, and I will buy it. I don't care what the price is. I'm gonna buy it. Gotta have it. Price is no object. So here's our first comparison: the animated 98 Y-MSF Junior, and here is his father, the original 98 Godzilla toy. And let's take a look at some other ones. I have some other American Godzillas that we're going to take a look at. All the American Godzillas. So we had this one. Now we're going to take a look at, give me 1 second here. We're going to take a look at the Trendmasters line. This is what the Godzilla from the Trendmasters line looked like before the cancel. This is what he looked like. So this is the Trendmasters Godzilla. This was the armored Godzilla. It came with armored pieces. Like, you know, Batman had like Arctic Batman and Polka Batman and riding a horse Batman. You know, all the different Batman toys they always have. Well, Godzilla, they kind of did the same thing with him. He had armor and whatnot. Like, he had guns on his shoulders. It was weird.
Power of Godzilla! The new Power of Godzilla. You snap on invincible ultra armor.
But I took that stuff off because I think the figure's pretty neat. But he's kind of like the Heisei Godzilla. That's what obviously he looks very much like the Heisei Godzilla. But this was the basic design of the Trendmasters line. This is what we got, the reimagining of that Godzilla. And so here he is with the Y-MSF Godzilla. Godzilla Junior is about 12 inches long. I say 11 and a half, 12 inches long, and he's about 6 inches tall. Maybe about 6.5, depending upon how you position his feet. His feet are kind of tricky, the way that they bend backwards like that. But that's our comparison with the regular Trendmasters Godzilla. Now I got another surprise. Here we go. Another surprise. This is what, obviously you guys saw this at some point. This was supposed to be what Godzilla was going to look like in 1998 when he came out in 94. Here is the Stan Winston Godzilla from Rixan Customs. This is a custom Godzilla figure. Here he is with Godzilla Junior. So there's your comparison there. This is the Stan Winston design. Stan Winston, obviously, Terminator, Alien, Godzilla, did a lot of cool special effects, and he made the unfortunately, it was never made. You can actually find the script for this. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but you can find the script of the 94 Godzilla movie. I did a whole review on this. I'll put it up in the top or the end. You guys will see it. But I did a review on this Stan Winston Godzilla. This is a custom figure. Very, very cool. But there's the comparison with the Godzilla Junior from Y-MSF. Who else we got here today? What other surprise guest we got? We have up from the depths, 30 stories high, breathing fire. There is the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. This is the original cartoon Godzilla from the 70s. American. All these are American. This is all the American designs. So we're not talking any Japanese designs. This is all American designs. So here is the Hanna-Barbera. This is the Mondo Hanna-Barbera Godzilla figure. When I lost my mind over, I needed to get it. But there's a comparison there. So this was the first ever animated series, and this was the next one. So this is what both of our Godzillas look like from the 90s and then from the 70s. So there's a nice little comparison there. And then we have one more special guest. We gotta have Legendary Godzilla. Now, this is what I call a hybrid. We're calling it a hybrid because it's an American Godzilla design, but it's the Japanese vinyl of it. And there is our comparison. Again, blue dorsal fins. Everybody loves putting Godzilla blue dorsal fins. Even though this Godzilla does shoot a green atomic ray. And he was also the first Godzilla, if I'm not mistaken, to actually charge up his ray where when it went from tip of tail all the way up his back, spines, all the way to his face. And then he would shoot his atomic ray. If I have a clip, if I'm able to find one, I'll put it here. But there's your last comparison. I'll put them this way so you get that tag out the way. There is the Legendary Godzilla and the Godzilla Junior. But here is... what else we got here? We got anybody else? I got nobody else. No more special guests. But you guys get the gist. It's a very, very nice, unique figure. It's a very unique idea to make this after all these years of not having that original Trendmasters line. It's a very cool thing to have. He is really nicely detailed. Even has the stamp here. Godzilla and characters designed are trademarks of Toho Co. Ltd. and then Y-MSF LLC. I'm hoping they make a Cyber Godzilla, which would be really, really sick. There is a shot here of his dorsal fins. Obviously, looks just like the Godzilla 98. But in every aspect, this character in the animated series is awesome. Highly recommend it. If you guys really want a Godzilla 98 figure, you don't want to get like one of the Trendmasters, and you want something that's kind of hard to get and kind of unique, I would go with this. It's a very cool little piece of Godzilla history here with the animated Godzilla 1998, Godzilla Junior from the series. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. I'll have more Godzilla stuff on the channel. I'll take another quick pause, and I'll show like a show off of this figure from front to back. You guys will see that. But again, I can't stress enough, definitely worth watching the animated series if you guys love Godzilla and you have nothing to do and you have nothing really to watch right now. Definitely pop them on. They're on YouTube. I hope they make the Cyber Godzilla. If they do, we'll definitely get Cyber Godzilla. That'll be sick. But that's pretty much it. I can't believe it got so dusty over here. Which Godzilla figure is dusty? I bet you it's the Legendary one. That one I can't get the dust off of. That's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, we'll have more Godzilla. I'm probably going to do a live stream toward the end of the month here. A live stream is going to be the binding of all the Godzilla TCG cards. We're going to do that. Maybe we'll have Godzilla Junior hanging out in the background, chilling, watching everything. And then that's probably the culmination of the whole Godzilla vision will be the bindering of all the Godzilla TCG cards. Don't forget, I have the end of the year rip is going to be live next month in December. I got a lot of stuff going on with that. A lot of cool things to open. Godzilla TCG, Pokemon, baseball, Yu-Gi-Oh! There might be Magic the Gathering in there. I don't even know at this point. There's so many packs just everywhere. But that's pretty much it. Until next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this sneaky little peek of a very interesting portion of Godzilla's history. Leave your comments below. Did you like Godzilla 98? Have you seen the series? Have you checked out the animated series? I think it's very, very good. It's very fun. A lot of original monsters, a lot of original ideas, and the Godzilla ends up being more original, like the old school one. Godzilla versus monsters, awesome stuff. Take it easy, guys. Peace.